Hi everyone, my name is Laura and welcome to the Results with Baby YouTube channel. I am coming at you today to talk all things postpartum exercise. It's going to be a nice short sweet little video for you today because if you're postpartum, time might not be your friend. So my name is Laura. I am one of the RWB trainers. I am pre and postnatal qualified and I also have 2 of my own children. So I have been on 2 different postpartum journeys. So first of all, I thought I would give you my top few little things to make sure you follow or be mindful of before you start exercising, and then I'm going to show you my favourite core exercises for postpartum. So you can be able to follow along with those and make a quick little routine out of it. So first things first, making sure that you are ready to exercise. So this is usually around the 8-week mark that you have your checkup. I know things have changed a lot since COVID and everything else. But making sure that you speak to someone and you get the all clear, and being aware if you have diastasis recti, just because you're going to want to make sure that you're very mindful of that if you have. I still have a little bit now. It's just where your abs hadn't fully knitted back together. So I actually still have a little bit with it, which just means I have to be a little bit more conscious of abdominal exercises and know my own body. So that's your first thing. Second thing I want you to think about is being kind to yourself and being flexible with your time. If you have been working out the whole way through your pregnancy and stuff like that, and you're quite good at just knowing like, I want to work out now, or having a routine with it and being quite rigid with it, in pregnancy anyway, sometimes you have to be a bit more flexible because you might not be feeling up to it and everything else. But especially in postpartum, because where before, especially if this is your first child, you are completely in control of your routine and your time schedule and stuff. When baby comes along, all of a sudden you are not as in control of that time schedule anymore, because they might need feeding, they might have had a sleepless night, which means you've had a sleepless night. They might be having colic, they might be having digestive issues, they might just be having a cryy day. It happens. All of these things means that it's going to be harder to be in control of your schedule around working out. So being flexible with it and altering as and when needed was absolutely vital to me being able to get back into fitness. If we had a really sleepless night, sometimes I wanted to work out because it gave me the energy boost that I needed. Sometimes I was just like, today is not the day, and that was okay. Or switching to just 15 minutes of movement would also be a great place to start. And just being rigid and flexible with that, changing when you're going to work out. Sometimes in the morning you might find that everything's running smoothly, so you've got time to work out then, but you might be like, actually, I'm going to wait for nap time because I really want to make sure I've got enough time here, or whatever it is that works for you, it's okay. But being flexible with when you're going to fit your workouts in and stuff like that can be super duper helpful. So they're really important things that really helped me with being in control of getting back into fitness. The other thing is following something that is postnatal safe, especially again if you have been doing quite intense workouts. You might be like, yeah, that's fine, I'm gonna get straight back in it. But there is a reason why it's important to follow postnatal exercise. Even if you're feeling like, hey, I recovered from birth, like I'm feeling good now. Your body spent 9 months changing and doing so much stuff in order to house that baby. Your body also needs a long time to recover completely, okay? So even if you feel like you're fully recovered, your body's still probably got a lot that's going on inside. So following postnatal friendly exercises is going to be super helpful. And it also means that you're going to get the right advice and all of the help that you actually need throughout that. So those are my top 3 tips, okay? So get your checkup, make sure you know what's going on with your body and that it's safe to exercise. Make sure that you are nice and flexible with when you're going to exercise, and always offer yourself the kindness if for some reason something doesn't go to plan, because that's going to probably happen a lot, especially if you have children like mine. And then thirdly, make sure that you are following postnatal safe exercises. Obviously over on RWL in the results with bump section, there is a selection of postnatal workouts there. So that is a great place to be able to direct yourself if you need the extra support, because make sure you're definitely doing the right stuff. Other than that, I'm going to go through with you now 5 different exercises that I love for working the core postnatally, and just being able to build that strength back up. They're all going to be body weight. They're going to be easy to do. I'm going to do them just nice and easy on the floor in the bedroom, just to show you so you can easily fit these into your workout routine and into your habits. So yeah, I will show you those 5 exercises now. So here are going to be my 5 exercises to work your core. I will explain them for you, but I recommend doing each exercise for about a minute each, so then it will give you a nice 5-minute routine to be able to work to. So it's super easy to fit into a very busy new mama life. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is one of my absolute favourites, bird dog. And I love this for all people, pregnant, not pregnant, postnatal, everyone. First thing you do is you're going to make nice wide splay in those fingers. You're going to have those wrists directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. So in that 4-point position, what we do is we're going to take the arm and the opposite leg out to create a nice straight line, okay? And then we're going to come back and then switch on to that other side. What I want us to do though is really focus on stabilizing that base. So we're making a nice straight position. What we don't want to do is dip here and come up too high and then arching that back, and you'll feel a pinch. There should be no pinching because you're keeping that core nice and tight. So when I say about keeping that core nice and tight, what I'm talking about is this corset of muscles that comes around, okay? So this is obviously separated throughout pregnancy, and now we're working on knitting it back together. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on tightening, bringing that belly button to spine and tightening those muscles around. So when you use that visual as you do your bird dog, you can really feel that switching on. That's it. And just keep working through this exercise for a full minute. And that is exercise number 1. Okay, so for exercise number 2, we're now going to come down onto our back and we're going to do some heel drops, okay? So coming all the way down onto the floor and resting our back onto the floor. What we're going to try and do is just lift up one foot and then lift up the other to create a table position, okay? I only want you to do this if you're not feeling that you're having that abdominal separation, because we need to be able to tuck those knees into the floor. I'll also give you a few variations, okay, to make sure that you're working at your level. So here, digging that back into the floor, we lift up one foot and then we lift up the other. If you can comfortably do this, what I want you to do is you're going to dip one heel down, keeping that 90-degree bend in your foot, and then bringing it back up, creating it so when your arms are out flat, you'll find that you've got that nice 45-degree angle, okay? If when you're doing that, you can feel that you're struggling to keep that back pulled into the floor and you're arching here, what I want you to do is keep both feet on the floor and then lift one leg up, bring it down, and then the other leg, bring it up and bring it down. And just focus again, thinking about that corset of muscles, bringing that belly button to spine. Breathing throughout, up and down. These are all going to be really beneficial for you, okay? So again, you're going to do this for around a minute. So you're either going to be working at that level or this level for 1 minute. And that is exercise number 2. For exercise number 3, we are going to be doing a glute bridge. And yeah, okay, it works our glutes. It's called a glute bridge, but it's also one of my favorites for actually working our core at the same time. And again, there's variations that you can work up to with this. So anyway, I'm going to show you phase 1 first anyway with our glute bridge. So rolling down onto the floor, bringing that back into the floor. What we want to do is bring our heels nice and close to our glutes. That's how we really get those glutes working. The further away they are, the more we target into our hamstrings. So the closer they are, the more they work into our glutes. Then what I want us to do is I want us to first of all focus on tilting that pelvis forwards. We tilt that pelvis forwards and then we slowly roll up until we get to a nice straight position. If you go too high in your glute bridge, which is too high here, you'll start feeling a pinch in your lower back. So your glutes will be working, but you'll also be pinching into that lower back. So you want to try and create a nice straight line from our knee all the way down to our shoulder. So we roll all the way up, hold here. When we're holding here, really think about squeezing that core at the same time. Okay, then what we do is we're rolling back again. So click, 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 each vertebrae coming down onto the floor. And then lastly, we release that pelvis. And then we come back up, squeeze, and back down. And I want you to, again, focus on that core as we roll in and out. Each time we're using that click, click, click with our spine. So I like to think of every single vertebrae of my spine and trying to give it a little bit of time on its own. Up and down. And again, we're going to do this for a minute. Up and down. Well done. And glute bridge is our exercise number 3. Exercise number 4. So one of my favorites, again, I like to add this in all of my workout routines, not just for pregnancy or postnatal, but just all of my workout routines in general, because I think everyone should do them. So it is my beloved side plank, which I know a lot of people don't love a side plank, but I promise you, the more you do them and the better you become at doing them, the more you'll be inclined to keep going with them. So again, there's variations that you can build this up and keep upping the intensity of side planks, like adding weights, taking feet away, all sorts of things. When we're starting with that postnatal journey, we want to just get that lovely basic side plank down first. So what that looks like is we're going to come onto our side plank, giving it all. What I want us to do is we are going to come down onto our elbow. So elbow again is going to go directly underneath that shoulder. We are going to bend that bottom leg, and again you can put the other leg either bent on top or you can take it out flat. It's entirely up to you. What we're going to do is we're going to come up and raise. So then you can either raise this leg up, you can stack this leg, or again you'll be able to come all the way to a full side plank. Again, this is all stuff to build up on. So coming here, what we want to be focusing on here is stacking those shoulders one on top of the other. Okay, so we're pressing up, bringing that one shoulder on top of the other. That's always the way I like to think of it. You can lift that arm up as well if you want to, or you can keep it on your hip, but we're stacking those shoulders. We also don't want to round too far forward or round too far back. We're trying to make that a nice straight line. And we're lifting that hip up here, working into that side part of our core. And you can then start doing hip dips, where you can just start bringing in that movement of coming down and up if you feel ready for it, okay? You could do 30 seconds on one side and then switch around nice and carefully and then go on to the other side. Again, setting it up, you can come up and down with that side plank, really thinking about bringing that belly button to spine. And then again, as this time goes on, as you progress, as you get better at side planks, it might start that you start with a hold, then you add dips in, then you can bring that other leg up and down and have it so that other leg is out. You can have it so you go into a staggered stance, or eventually get in here. But yeah, exercise number 4, side plank. Okay, we're actually going to come into a standing position because we've done all of that floor work. We're going to start standing now. So what I want us to do is we're going to take our feet hip width apart. Sorry, you can't see my feet. Feet hip width apart. And what we're going to do is really focus on our posture first of all, making sure we're standing up nice and straight. Softness in the knees. Then we're going to tighten our core here. So tighten in even before we start. Take one arm to your side and then you're going to bring your other arm up to your temple as if you're having a little salute. And it's just coming down and up, okay? So this is actually called lateral flexion, which is, or I like to think of it more as I'm a little teapot, because I always think of that as someone I do it. This is where you can tell I spend too much time with children. So we're just coming down and then squeezing up with that core, okay? make sure we're breathing. So again, what we want to think about here is we're not coming too far forwards or too far back. So we've got that softness in the knees. We're really working as if we're stuck in between two planes of glass here. And we're just gently coming down and up. You don't need to come all the way down to the floor, okay? It's just that little micro movement of control. And as we do this, really focus on tightening that core, coming down to the side and back up. It's really going to help you get that control. It's also a really functional move. So you do one side and then you do the other. You could do 30 seconds a side, or if you want to do a full minute per side, okay? But again, it's really functional. How often do we pick things up? Especially grabbing those car seats, picking up toys off the floor. I know it sounds really silly when you think of the fact that, oh my God, when I'm picking up things, I'm doing exercise at the same time, but we're using our body all of the time. So by making exercises functional, it actually helps us so much through life. So again, 30 seconds on one side, coming down and up, and then 30 seconds on the other. Or if you wanted to, you could make it a little bit snazzy and do one side and then the other. And again, if you ever get to the point that you then want to be able to progress this exercise because you're like, do you know what, I've really got this now, I can feel I'm much stronger there, you can add a weight in the arm that is down, grazing past your legs. You can easily add dumbbells into this or a kettlebell at a later stage. So yeah, that's exercise number 5. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope that today's video has helped you getting back into a postpartum exercise and it was of some use to you guys. But also what I wanted to make sure that you're aware of, that if you are a bit stuck and you're not sure where to go with postpartum exercise and what to do, what not to do, the Results with Baby section within the RWL app has tons of postpartum workouts, but also it has tons of information as well. So if you are looking for extra support, we have sleep advice, we have weaning advice, we have diastasis recti advice. There is tons in there to really help you on your health, fitness, well-being journey as a mum. So I am going to leave the link in the description so that you can find out more about that. And hopefully I will see you again soon for another video. See you later, everyone. Bye.